welcome to the Get at Gaming Plus podcast. I'm Alex,
I'm Ben.
and we are a bi-weekly podcast where we talk about whatever we want to talk about, whether that is the news, not the boring news though,
No.
like the fun news, like video games or like TV shows or just anything that we like, honestly. Sometimes we like boring stuff. I mean, I don't know. Ben, you like the Lord of the Rings, right?
I I do. I have not rewatched them in a very long time. Very
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings, that's one of the most boring things. And we're not going to talk about that unless we're talking about Gollum. Because, oh boy, that Gollum game looks fun. But we are a bi-weekly podcast. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Pandora. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, is I believe what it's called now. Used to be iTunes. iHeartRadio, pretty much everywhere. On Wednesdays, those post in the morning. Then we also have YouTube videos that posts on generally Friday. We've had some weird issues with YouTube videos lately, so I had like re-upload some. So if you all notice that and want to give us some love over there, appreciate it. I think it's mostly because lately we've been showing clips of things, and so it freaks out, and it's like it's not a copyright strike, but we're taking money off of you or something. Like hold up, no you're not. Even when it's muted, like we showed like the My Adventures with Superman trailer and like Blue Beetle, and even when it's muted it notices like, hey, you're playing a
Yeah.
trailer, you need to
I,
stop
I
that.
noticed I noticed when those all got posted, 'cause I'm like, oh look, we posted an episode. Oh wait, we posted another episode. And then another one. And I was like, oh man, we're on fire right now.
Yeah,
Look at us go.
yeah, look at us go. So yeah, those posted on like I think Sunday is when I made them go out. But yeah, they're on there. So if you want to go find YouTube videos, you can definitely find them over there. See our beautiful faces or ugly faces. Comment down below if you think we're beautiful or not. And yeah, so we have some fun stuff to talk about today. I almost said okay stuff. I mean, it's kind of like a weird week. There isn't much to talk about, let's be honest. But we're gonna try to get right into the first news story for here for a little bit, because again, you can find us on a lot of different platforms. You can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Threads now, as well as Instagram. We were on Instagram, don't really use it per se. You've used it like a couple times, but then now we're on Threads. We're technically on Twitter, but Twitter is no longer called Twitter, according to Mr. Musky Boy over there. It is called X, and it started that yesterday, I think, last night. The apps haven't updated, so I still see the bird and everything.
It's such a weird thing. Like, I think the only person that can change is like something to something like that level was Prince. That's it.
Yeah.
You're if you're unless you're Prince, you can't change it. I just think Twitter is a mess right now. I'll be
Oh, very
completely
much. But yeah, so Twitter is a mess. It's now X for now, and there's a lot of issues with that. For one, sharing tweets again are kind of messed up. It doesn't preview a tweet like in Discord right now because of the new URL and all that. The app still hasn't updated fully, so you're not seeing the X necessarily there. It's only on like the browser version for now. Let's see. Yeah, so basically the main story is that Elon is a baby, and he really wanted PayPal to be called X way back when. And they were like, no, you're an idiot. Get out of here. And so Elon left PayPal and did Tesla and like all that, helping out with that stuff. And now that he has Twitter, he decided, hey, I'm gonna be Mr. Burns right now and make like some stupid plan and block out the sun with a giant X. And now, yeah, he's turned Twitter into X. What was he gonna do next week? Who knows? I did see how they're planning on to mitigate what is it? Spam, I guess. Spam, quote unquote. They're going to limit people of how much you can DM unless you pay for Twitter Blue. And apparently that's included in like mutuals as well. So like if I'm messaging someone who I always message, oh man, you better get ready. We probably only have like 10 messages a day or something. Um yeah, it
This is kind of, and I get it from a business perspective.
I don't.
He bought this for way too much money, and he's trying to recoup those costs, and it's never going to happen because Twitter's never been that. Now, the people that sold Twitter to him, literally in their Scrooge McDuck banks that are swimming through their money, they're like, "We got you. You paid this money. We're set." But this is what's happening. Um, I just think it's not going to offend well, because why would we do that when we have Facebook, where there's never a cost for that? And with Facebook coming out with Threads, Threads is exactly like Twitter. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of Facebook either, but I've noticed it's been better. There's not a lot of toxic people on there. It's been pretty, they do a good job. So if you post something you shouldn't, it's taken down pretty quick.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I think, the battle between him and Zuckerberg won this one. And you're going to see a lot of things thrown back and forth. I mean, it's going to get ugly before it gets any better. But like, Elon Musk just needs to go back and making his cyber trucks and over expensive electric cars, and just stick with that.
I love it. Like, how many years ago was that when he was up on stage with the truck? He's like, indestructible, will not break. And then he like throws a baseball at it and it like breaks
Yeah,
and shatters. It reminds me of Aladdin, where he's like, will not break, it broke. And he just throws it away.
it reminds me of when Homer's brother let him design a car.
Oh, Danny
Look at that
DeVito,
Simpson. Yeah, look at that Simpsons quote I threw out there.
the Automo car. Wait, no, no,
Didn't they
Homer
call it the?
Homermobile, I think.
Yeah, and it was like a total like, yeah, it was not good.
I used to have a model. Like you could go to like Hobby Lobby or something like that and buy like car models. I had a car model of the Homermobile when I was younger. Like I
That's
built it.
insane. I just think a business side of me is saying this was never a good investment. You're never going to get this. They've already lost a lot of famous people because they're like, I'm not paying to get. I'm famous.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was Samuel L. Jackson that was quoted saying, you know, I didn't become the highest paid person in Hollywood and doing the most movies and making the most money by paying for my social media.
Exactly. And like the problem is, and which is stemmed from a lot of other things with Twitter Blue, is that the main reason why people want to be verified is so you can be sure that's them and they don't get catfished by a fake celebrity. So
Correct.
anyone can essentially pay for Twitter Blue and be like, "Hey, I'm, I don't know, John Leguizamo, and if you want to hang out with me and talk about the Super Mario Brothers movie, we can hang out and chill." And then you find out, nope, it's not John Leguizamo, it's just me. Um, like, yeah, that stuff has apparently happened
And
already.
it happened a lot at the very beginning where they were not monitoring it very well. And so someone was like, I think someone like did like a Disney account or
Yeah.
a Netflix account or something crazy. Um, they've been losing numbers though as well. So I don't know what his plan is for it.
Yeah.
I really don't, because if he's planning to build it up and sell it, it's never going to get there.
Yeah, yeah, I get you. It it's just in a weird place right now where he bought it because he was trying to pump it up and be like, haha, I'm gonna buy it because I could do it so much better. And they're like, oh yeah, do it. Just kidding, I'm not buying it. And then Twitter was like, no, you said you're gonna buy it. You can't back out of this now. and that's why he bought it, because they made him buy it
Right.
essentially. Um, yeah, so that's that's the main reason. So yeah, now he's just trying to recoup his losses. And is he gonna do okay? Probably not with this move. Like himself, he's gonna do fine. But as
Right.
far as like what all this is, like with Twitter and all this, like at this point, it seems like he's just destroying it on purpose for fun.
It was funny because before he bought this, I think a lot of people saw him as a very respectable, smart person. And
Yeah,
and 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 now I don't think they think that way because in interviews he sounds really stupid with ideas and things like they. I remember there was an interview they're asking about like why did you fire your security team? Well, because I had to. I had to. But you didn't have a backup. You know, anyone that works any sort of IT or security knows that if you're going to fire your security team that works on that level, you got to have a backup.
yeah,
And so he didn't. And so like I think that and watching the videos, the people are like, "Hey, we're counting down. We're gonna get fired here in like X minutes." It's just crazy. And Zuckerberg took this opportunity to do Threads, and I know that they are still growing. I think you were talking about there's an update coming pretty soon.
yeah. There's a bunch of new things, and then they're basically very they want feedback. They want like, hey, what do you want? And then someone was just like, give us this, give us this, give us a DM feature. They're basically just listing everything that Twitter did as features. If you could
There's
just
going to
make
be a
Twitter
lawsuit.
too.
There's going to be a lawsuit.
They're already trying
Uh,
to.
yeah, I know that he tried to at one point saying it's exactly like Twitter, but it's not. It
It's
really
not, because
isn't.
it actually works and they don't charge anyone.
Yeah.
Haha.
And so, but like I've already seen a bunch of famous people on there
Yeah.
that were on Twitter. I don't even know who it was. I think it was like Brad Pitt or something like that because he showed up as like, "Hey, you may know these people."
Yeah, it's
Because
because they had Instagram, and so it's very easy for them to just create an account that way. Um Yeah, I do want to lean into this here really quick before we get any further into this topic. I just think it's pretty funny. So I don't know if you've noticed all of the Kingdom Hearts cult that's happening on Twitter right now, because I think it's hilarious, and I'm a part of it now
I
too.
I have not noticed.
Okay,
Uh, I
so
I think my interactions have literally been to the director of NES Quest, or yeah, like they're doing a new movie, and I'm really trying to get that on Blu-ray. And my conversations, like I'm sure Alex runs our Twitter. That's just the way it's been. I'm pretty sure he's been like, I'm not making these comments. This is totally Ben right now,
oh
trying to
yeah,
score some DVDs or
of
Blu-rays.
course. Um,
That's been my interaction.
yeah. So let's bring it over here. So so a lot of stuff is like, oh yeah, after 17 years it's going to be officially rebranded to X. And then like now everyone's like, ah yes, an X, like Kingdom Hearts, so now you have the sigil of Xehanort. So then now this one guy right here, Master Latrix, was just like, all right everyone, take this hooded organization 13 and just make it your profile picture. And so everyone's done it. There's over 1,000 people now who are doing this, and then there are some people who have changed their picture to Sora from Kingdom Hearts because they're like, no, I won't be Xehanort's vessel or whatever. And there's just like weird Kingdom Hearts lore and just references, and they're trying to make the best out of this stupid situation right now. I think it's fun because, like, yeah, I have the same exact Twitter profile picture right now, which is just an organization member. It's
That's
fun
too
stuff.
funny. I have not. I mean, I think it's hilarious. So where when it pops up saying like, "Hey, this person did a tweet," I'll go look, and that's my extent.
Yeah.
That's usually all I do. Um, and the last one, hey, my dog in the
Oh
background. He's
yeah.
been out like twice. Alex can be a witness. He's been out twice.
Yeah.
This always happens when we record. Drives me absolutely
It
nuts.
does. It's fine.
Ugh.
It's fine. But yeah, I did want to bring up the Twitter thing. So go find us on Threads. We'll still try to post on Twitter here or there and just tell certain things or interact with certain people and like things, but I don't think there's as much reach there as there used to be. So I don't think it's really worth it. It's only really there just because to protect the brand name, I guess, so we can be there and have it at this point. But
I mean, definitely if you have threads, look us up. Um, I've already seen more interaction on there,
mhm,
which is great. It and we'll keep our Twitter around for, or I'm sorry, X.
yeah,
We'll keep X around for a little bit longer.
yeah,
We still have a lot of friends on there, but
exactly,
once those friends are gone, man, we will probably get rid of it.
yeah,
Um, and I think Threads is just easier to use, and yeah,
yeah,
so.
exactly. So I'd like to go into our hidden trophies. You said that you didn't have anything. Is that
Uh,
correct?
no, Alex knows here next week I may be making some pretty big purchases.
Yeah.
So I have been very good with my spending habits. So I have not spent anything, although I am probably going to have to let them out as you go. So just keep going and you do that. And then I'll come back with what I'm playing and I'll be here. I just got to let them
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
It's life.
Yeah, I
So
get you. All right, so now we can get to make fun of Ben while he's as he walks off and laughs in the abyss. Now you're stuck with me. You don't know what he's doing. If you're an audio listener right now, um you don't know what Ben's doing at all. He could have just walked off like the plank. Anything could have, oh, he's back a lot faster than I thought he was. Okay. So anyway, um
I'm going to go
man,
back and listen to that and I'm going to be like, damn it, Alex.
no, I was just like, I was trying to paint a picture of where you were because I was like, for audio listeners, you don't know what happened to him. It's like you walked off the plank. Anything could have happened to you just then. But you're back. You swam back to the boat. But yeah. So I went on a trip. Um, went to Vegas for a week. It was really fun. Um, yeah, it was a big trip. Wedding, stuff like that. Not mine, but family member, sister, and that was fun, interesting, cool time. Um, and so yeah, I went to a few different places. I went to a video game store, which was like in a strip mall in like south of Vegas. Um, and the strip mall kind of looked like a downtown, like a fake downtown area. uh
Nice.
yeah, it was kind of cool. Like there's just like a bunch of like stores just on the roads, and like there's like a Hot Topic just like freestanding. I was like, that's weird. I've never seen like a Hot Topic just on its own before. But I went to this place, I forget what it was called. Retro retro something. And so, oh man, the sticker is coming off, I guess. Oh well. Went there. There's something. It was a pretty cool store. That, unfortunately, that was really the only video game store I went to, um, because just the time and everything. Like everything was so busy, and we had a bunch of family members there too. So like it was just hard to come across like a certain time to actually go and do things. Um, so let's see. So I went there, and they had a lot of strategy guides, which is really cool. Um, a lot of them were like RPGs and stuff too, like strategy guides I never saw really before, and they were fairly priced. Like I didn't see a strategy guide more than $20. I think that's really cool. There are a bunch of games and cases that are really expensive. Um, People may know, they may not know, is that I own. It might be back there, somewhere, but I own Xenosaga 1 and 2 now, from my last trip in like Kentucky and stuff like that, and so I got those for a pretty good price complete. So now I just need Xenosaga 3. Similar like dot hack and stuff like that. Dot hack, the IMOQ stuff. Xenosaga 3 is very expensive. Um, that might be another Bandai game. Now I'm thinking about it. It might not be. Who knows? But yeah, that game's very expensive. I did find one when I was at that store. The problem is that they had a whole section of graded video games. And
Oh,
so I did not buy any of those because I want to play my games. I don't want to grade them, um, or have the opportunity to play something. Like I would feel weird if something's like graded because I'm just like, what if in the future I want to open it up and play it? Um, so they had Xenosaga 3, but it was like $800 because it was graded. So
oof.
so I did not buy it. That game on a good day, it's not as expensive as Die Hack, but I'd say like it's probably like a $250 to $300 game. Whereas Die Hack is more of like over 300, 350. Um, so yeah, so enough of that story. So yeah, I found something there. Didn't find anything for Ben, unfortunately, because I was gonna look for stuff there. But they had some NES games, but they're just like not a whole lot of them, not in great condition, and it seemed like they were there for a while, and they're kind of sun bleached. I'm not gonna lie.
I think that's like what we're running into nowadays. I don't think, I don't think NES is as collectible because I'm finding the same thing where I'll go out and I'm not seeing them as much. I mean, Disc Replay always has them, but like the places that normally would have them, I'm just not seeing them as
They did have some
much.
box ones that look really cool. I don't remember what they were exactly, but they're like complete in box expensive ones.
Oh yeah,
So but like yeah, I didn't tell you about that because you're not doing that.
no, I'm that's a dangerous thing to start.
Exactly. So I bought one thing from there. I spent $35 before tax and everything. Oh, he walked away again. So audio listeners, I guess I'll still keep talking. Who knows what's gonna happen. I could say anything right now. PP, yeah, PP poo poo. Haha. Uh, but no, I did buy one thing, and that is oh man, have fun listening to that back again. Uh, but I bought Sonic Labyrinth for the Game Gear, for $35, and a lot of these games were added to Sonic Origins collection, like the newest one. But then I played it on there, like not this one, but like another game on there that I do own, and there's something with the emulation. It's not good. Like it's actually pretty bad. So I want to play these games still and try to collect them and play them on like my uh analog pocket and like do that kind of stuff there. And yeah, the people there, the person there was really nice. It was just really busy. It was kind of messy on their desks because it was just one person with a bunch of stuff. Um, and you always know like it's a good reputable game store if they, after you buy it, they grab a Q-tip and some alcohol and they clean the contacts for you. So
Oh
thank you.
yeah,
Not all game stores do that. This one did. I appreciate you. Um, so that's one of the things I got there. I also went to Area 15. I don't know if you heard about this. Did I talk about this with you
I
before?
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I might have talked about it before I went there. Um, but it is like a weird. That's the Omega Mart thing, where like it looks
Okay.
like a fake um grocery store, and there's just like just a bunch of weird stuff there. And as you go through it more through like secret passageways and things like that, it's more of like a weird art museum and art exhibit that's like interactive. Like you can like, I don't know, go through the shirts and then you find a spiral staircase that you can walk through. And then you're in like some MIB base and there's like a bunch of like computers and stuff with phones and you can like interact with the touchscreen computers and find information. And there's like a woman who's missing, I believe is like the main thing. And so like you can like go through like the phone directory and you can like pick up the receiver and like it's very interactive and very cool. if you like want to like solve the mystery and like do all that. Otherwise, just walking around is really cool because it's just really weird and off. The more you go into it, um, but the Omega part, the Omega Mart part of it was pretty fun. There's just a bunch of like just weird products that you could actually buy. Um, there was a aisle that I didn't realize was mostly salt. Like it was just like things of salt, and I found one that said salted peanuts does not contain peanuts, and so it was just a thing of salt. Like that's all it was.
That's pretty funny.
There were avocado coin purses, so like it looked like you're just holding an avocado, but it was a coin purse. There was a banana flask, like you could just pretend that you're holding a banana, but it's actually just a flask. Um, yeah, there's just a bunch of weird stuff around there. Um, but yeah, it's interesting for sure. Um, they also have an after hours, like after 9 p.m. it's 21 and over, I believe, because there's like drinking and stuff. But then also, um, they make it scarier. I want to say that they turn off the lights, and
Oh
so
wow.
they make it like you're visiting like an abandoned thing, and just make it more like Prey or Silent or not Silent Hill, Dead Space, like that kind of stuff, like it's just like very awkward and weird. And so yeah, you're just kind of exploring that way. But when I went, like there were kids and stuff around, um, and I think it was like $60 a head, and there are four of us. But like, supposedly there's another one in I don't know if it's Detroit. There's another one somewhere, and my older sister said the other one's actually better. So maybe I'll try that one at some point. Because the Omega Mart, you don't have to pay for it at that one. You kind of just can go right in. Um, but in Area 15, there's also other stores and other weird stuff around there. And there was a store called Kappa Toys. And so I got a couple things from there, which were pretty cool. I got this this car Kirby thing. So it's like a
Oh
little,
nice.
if I can open it. So I opened it once and then I never did anything with it. It was in my bag still, so that's one of the things I was grabbing earlier. But yeah, it's just a car Kirby, just like a little toy thing. So like I can put it somewhere on a shelf or whatever. It's fairly cheap. Um, they're telling me though that the Kirby ones keep going away. I could really tell because it was nothing but like Waddle Dees and like a normal Kirby. Um, and then there was one car left like in the back, so I was like, oh, I need to grab this one. Thankfully, they're not random boxes or anything. Um, so that I can actually see what I can get. Um, and then the last thing from that place that I got was something that I thought was only online, which is a Kingdom Hearts Tamagotchi.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So for the longest time, you could only get these through Bandai's website. I paid $40 for this. Um, it's the light mode version because it's the only one that they had. I have not opened it yet or anything. I don't know if I'm gonna open it to be honest, but I think it's pretty cool. Because these came out, I want to say 2 years ago, last year maybe. And you could get it through Bandai Premium's website, and Bandai Premium is a premium. It costs an arm and a leg just to shop there. Um, so yeah, I was fairly happy to just find it at a store for once, and they had quite a few of them. They even had the Common Rider one because there's a Common
Oh wow.
Rider Tamagotchi. It's like the same exact thing. It's just that it's green, and you can get like the Common Rider characters and stuff on there, and take care of those and hatch those and all that. Um, that's all I really got from Vegas. I did get some whatnot orders in, and I kind of shared those earlier on the Discord. So if you're not a part of the Discord, go ahead and take a look in our hidden trophies section where we just brag about stuff that we buy. Um, and so the one of these things I got was a new Detective Conan game for PS1. It looks to be, when I was looking at it, there's the manuals in here, as well as like the OB strip, which is like the thing that like wraps around the disc or the case. Um, and then the disc is in here, and it looks to be like a 3 scenario thing. You could either play as I here, her. You can play as Heiji, or you can play as Conan, and there's just like 3 different stories, and it's just like kind of like an adventure, like mystery game. Um, Another thing I got here was from Whatnot, same purchase actually. All these were from the same listing, and I have more stuff coming in tomorrow. Um, some more cool stuff. I have this dot hack thing, dot hack integration, right? Yeah, integration, and this comes with dot hack sign episode 28, so like the final OVA that takes place after the games and after the show, like where all the characters come together and essentially have a party. Um, and then it also has the on discs 2 and 3, it has liminality, which are the OVAs that were included with each disc in Dot Hack. Um, so we never got this in America, unfortunately, which is a problem because that's why Dot Hack games are so expensive.
Yeah,
Because they have all those OVAs and stuff like that. But if they just release something like this, where you get the OVA separately, um, then we probably wouldn't have as much of a problem with expensive games that way. But yeah, it's a really cool case. There's like two cases in here. This slip cover as well as this OB strip here. Um, yeah, it's pretty cool. And then the last thing I got was let's see. Last thing I got was just Love Live. I got a anime Blu-ray, so it also comes with a CD. So, uh, which each of these were probably like $10 minimum. I have some other stuff coming in. I have a dot hack of 3 and 4 for Japanese. I have a Lupin DVD for that's Japanese coming in. Um, uh, Mystical Ninja Game Boy game complete in box for like ten
that's pretty
bucks.
sweet for
Um,
10 bucks.
yeah, and then I don't know, man. There's just so much little things where I was like, oh man, I ordered this and I ordered that. Um, I think I took screenshots if I remember correctly. Oh yeah, a Lupin. I sent that in the chat.
Oh yeah,
Um, the I got a Lupin Famicom game. I love Famicom games because on the actual like cartridge itself, it shows you the gameplay of how the game actually looks instead of like like you have your artwork and stuff like how Mega Man looks or whatever with like our
right.
American art, but then you turn the back of the box, it doesn't necessarily show what it actually looks like. It's kind of like a false advertising thing. But like, yeah, the Famicom cartridges, especially like the older ones, it shows like, all right, this is what you're getting into. This is him doing a platformer. It's a platforming game. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm excited for that. I don't really have a way of playing that per se. I think I have. Well, I guess my Retron 5, which I haven't turned on a long time, that should play Famicom, I believe.
I
Um,
think it does.
yeah,
I used to have one back. Gosh, when did I have that thing? I don't remember when I had it. But after I got rid of it, I'm like, God, I really miss it. I wish I would have kept it.
yeah. Um, but yeah, that's all I really have here. I did open a couple other dot hack boxes on my own, and kept getting the same duplicate cards. I'm just missing one card in that first set still. I haven't even tried opening up the second set yet. I'm just missing one card. I've opened up half of the boxes. I've opened up 6 boxes, and I'm still missing just one card. It's one of the like extra rare cards too. So
That's crazy.
yeah,
So crazy.
it is. I guess just to make it palate cleanser here. What have you been playing lately?
Well, I did like a total 180. So our buddy Spencer, we were hanging out over the weekend, and he says, "Hey, you got to download this game. It's called Arcade Paradise."
He talked to me about that too, and but that was a while ago, and I saw it was on Game Pass, so I downloaded
Yeah,
it as
so
well.
I have been playing it, and I bought 2 arcade machines.
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is, like, really fun."
Yeah.
Um, I don't know what it is though, like, I can't play it very long because I get a headache, and
It's
I don't know what it is.
because the frame rate's weird and it's not responsive. If you move the stick, like the camera right stick, and like you move it or whatever, there's a lag there. I
That's what it
noticed
is.
it, and I had to turn on the crosshair as well, in the menus, because I was like, I'm pointing at this like cash deposit thing, and it's not saying I'm highlighting it. And so I found out it's because, oh, I don't have the crosshairs on, so I don't know where the actual like aiming is, but also because it's so delayed and weird, um, it just feels really off. But yeah, I feel the exact same. I was kind of getting a headache from it as well. It's a
Yeah.
really fun game, but
Oh, no, it
yeah,
is.
it's just unfortunate that there are no graphics or I don't know any settings for that sort of thing.
No, so I can only play it for, like, short periods of time, but I'm having fun with it. I'm not really playing anything else, but I did wanna bring up something I've been watching, and I've been plowing through episodes, which is Star Wars Rebels. I am getting ready for Ahsoka, and I know that's one thing I need to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And so, uh, you know, Alex and I talked about it. I like to have things I can watch with the kids.
Yeah.
Although, when the Inquisitor, I'm in the first season when that Inquisitor pops in one of the spoilers.
Yeah.
It's been out for a while.
Yeah.
The scene where they go after the old Jedi and they find out that she's no longer with us,
Mm-hmm.
where she goes back into her thing and it's like very ghost like,
Yeah.
and you just see the yellow eyes. That totally freaked my son out.
Oh yeah.
He has, I think we've talked about, he has a thing for eyes
Yeah.
that freak him out, and that was, and but after we got through that, he was fine with it. Um, I think I got to episode 8 is where I'm at now in season 1.
Okay.
So, but you were right. Like I think the best thing about it is the episodes are so they just flow really quickly. So I'm able to watch a couple episodes in one sitting. It's not like I feel like Clone Wars is difficult sometimes because they do that whole big opening thing and then they jump into it. And I'm not knocking Clone Wars. It's just too much. Where this is like, let's start the episode. Bam, let's get into it. Let's
There
move
are
on.
some Clone Wars type episodes later on though. So just be aware. But like they're good. The pacing's fine and everything, but there are some episodes that definitely feel like, oh, we're watching Clone Wars. Um, but yeah, no, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I thought you would. Season one definitely picks up later on. The beginning I wasn't so hot on just because I hate Aladdin. I mean I hate yeah, Ezra Bridger, that's his name, yeah. Um, he is Aladdin. Like that's what
Yeah.
he is in the very beginning. Um, but he gets better. Every character gets better. Kanan's really cool. Like everyone's awesome on that team. Um,
Well,
so
and
yeah,
spoiler again, in Mandalorian, there were Zeb shows up
yeah,
in an episode. And so like I know they're trying to incorporate that into their shows. Now I know that they said they're gonna slow down on their Marvel stuff and their Star Wars stuff, but
hmm
you know, they're gonna do another season of Mandalorian. It's just when they
yeah,
do it. But with the new Ahsoka show coming out, I know this was one thing I needed to watch. My kids are. It's so funny. My middle one, he is 5. He's like, "Well, where's Darth Maul? He's on the front picture. Where's he at?" I'm like, "Well, he's probably coming later."
yeah,
Um, but you know, my oldest son, this was his favorite show. He watched it when it was on Disney.
yeah,
Um, and he's like, "You're just going through these episodes." I'm like, "They're only like 20 minutes with no commercials.
yeah.
I mean, you just blare through them. It's super quick and they're super easy to watch."
hmm
So I've been watching that a lot. Um, almost done with Justified. You know, those episodes are a lot longer,
hmm
but it's just really smooth. Also, um, watched the newest um, Warrior show from last week. It's kind of slowing down. Like the first season was like boom, 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 crazy fight scenes every episode, and it's like slowing, but it's getting ready to hit some huge peak of
Yeah.
like uh, in season two. Um, I'm gonna go on a little tangent here. On season two of Warrior, it's obviously the beginning of America, where you have Irish Americans that didn't like um, the Chinese that were coming over because they were taking
Mhm.
their jobs. So there's obviously lots of conflict. There's
Mhm.
a scene where the Irish are in Chinatown attacking Chinatown, and the two local gangs work together. And it was like a crazy, like it was literally like a giant tribute to Bruce Lee. Obviously, it's based on some stories from him,
Yeah.
uh, but you have this whole thing that happens, right?
Mhm.
And then you get into this new season, you're like, okay, so is it going to pick up now? But I see what they're doing. They're definitely doing some story stuff. But that's pretty much been it. I want to get into some more Switch games that I have. As you can see behind me, I have a ton of stuff, and
Yeah.
so Switch is easy for me to play before I go to bed. Um,
Yeah.
so I'll be playing more of that at least before some of these other big shows like Ahsoka come out. So, how
Yeah,
about
because
you?
that's soon. That's very soon.
Next month,
Yeah.
yeah, which we're almost through. Do you realize we're almost 5 months before Christmas?
Oh god, don't say that. I'm not ready.
I'm a parent, man. I'm like freaking out. Like,
Or buy
you
all your
know,
stuff right now.
well, no, because you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, my oldest son has a job, and so he's already reserved Spider-Man 2. Um, but now he wants the controller, you know?
Is he
And
gonna get
so
the faceplates as well?
he didn't say he was.
Huh.
I know he wants the controller really bad. I would love the controller. But again, I am making some pretty big purchases
Mhm.
next week. And so I have to be careful. Um, but if it ends up on my Capital One card, I don't know how it got there.
Yeah, exactly.
But I definitely, the controller's super cool. And we'll talk more about it later. I don't want to go into it, but
Yeah.
I have some things that I thought were pretty hilarious. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's it for me. What about you?
Okay. Yeah, the main things I've been playing are Kingdom Hearts 3 Japanese, just going through that, streaming it. Um Otherwise I've been playing Xenoblade 2 still, just on and off. I'm still in chapter 4, but I've kind of been doing just a bunch of side quests and just doing things when I can. Just getting distracted by that and grinding and stuff because I really like the combat. Um I've kind of gone back to the actual story stuff here for a bit. Um but it's mostly just been those. As for watching, just a lot of stuff. I think I talked about it last time, but I because it's easy, um watching some Dragon Ball Kai just in the background. I still don't like the pacing and everything because it feels weird because everything's just so much faster. Um and I'm already at the part where androids 19 and 20 are there. So
Oh, nice.
so yeah, Dr. Giro and Trunks already came back from the future the first time and all that. Um so yeah, Frieza stuff felt very fast, like way too fast actually. Um I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because I just feel like um I talked about this on stream, but I might have talked about it here before. But it's kind of like a Full Metal Alchemist, where it's just the original like is different, but those the beginning parts of that take a lot more time to develop characters, and it's filler, but it gives character growth and character development. Whereas in Brotherhood, like yeah, the story's really good and everything, but um like there are certain characters who maybe die or whatever and you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, that doesn't really impact me as much as it would have if I was watching it like and saw that character a lot more and like dealt with him a lot more.
Yeah,
Um,
and I you're into my favorite. I think it's one of my favorite seasons of this show.
yeah,
Like that's my favorite saga is the Cell Saga.
yeah, yeah. That's actually where I first started Dragon Ball Z when I was a kid. I probably talked about it before on multiple things. But the very first episode I watched Dragon Ball Z was where um, Trunks comes from the future for the first time and lands and beats Frieza and King Cold, and then fights Goku with when Goku's just using his finger against the sword. Um, yeah, those are the very first episodes I'd ever watched of Dragon Ball Z. So um, yeah, I really like this season too. I like some parts of the Boo saga a lot, but when it gets further, then that's when I don't like it as much. I really like the beginning parts of that. But yeah, we'll see if I continue with this or whatever. This is kind of one of those shows that's just like on in the background. Um, Another show that I thought would be on the background was Futurama because that started back up. Um, but there's only one episode, and it's fine. Like it's good. It's Futurama. It's not Futurama's never bad. Um, the only bad episode I would say is the where car episode, and that's like old
Yeah,
Futuramas where Bender gets hit by a car and you find out it's like a werewolf. It's a where car, so then they have to go find the original. And yeah, it's not a good episode. I hate it. But every other show or episode or whatever is fine with that. So trying to think of anything else I've been watching. I've been watching more Gundam a little bit here and there. I didn't really watch too much of anything though since I was on vacation. Um, Watching more Urusei Yatsura again, but yeah, not really much else. Talk to me about a week maybe because I need to catch up on certain things like Bleach started back up again, so I need to watch Bleach and see how what's happening with my boy Ichigo and
yeah.
seeing all that. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much been it there. Um, yeah, this is one of those weird episodes. So if this is your first episode, I'm sorry, I guess. It's just one of those weird episodes where I incorporated a news story early. So now the episode's already almost an hour in and we're just finishing some of the stuff. But I mean that's what you signed up for. So,
Yeah.
you just gotta deal with it. So
Well, and I feel like this since the beginning we've moved to more of a conversational podcast.
yeah.
So that's what happens, you know.
Mhm.
Um, and so I do think it is important to have some of these things in there. And so yeah, you're fine. You're fine. I mean, I let the dogs out during the our thing, and I brought them back in because they just couldn't wait,
Oh yeah.
like little children
You
with four
missed it.
legs.
You missed it when I was talking to the audience just by myself, and I said pee pee poo poo, like I actually just said that because like I could say anything right now. So
Ah, crap! Now we're not going to
yeah,
be like,
now we're explicit.
yeah, we're explicit. Gonna go.
Yeah,
Uh,
but yeah, let's go into the next news story. Actually, no, this isn't the next news story. I'm gonna do this one instead, which I don't have written down, but I like to talk about it because I think this happened. Yeah, this happened last week while I was on vacation. So, um, CyberConnect 2 vice president uh, reiterates desire to remake the original Dot Hack games and basically just requests fans ask Bandai Namco. So now there is a Dot Hack hashtag. It's just Dot Hack. They want people to make a trend and talk about it. And yeah, a lot of this happened when I was on vacation, so I didn't really contribute to it. So I still haven't really just yet, but I probably should. And essentially, they just want us to bother CyberConnect and be like, "Hey, we want dot hack, we want IMOQ, we want remakes of these. And dot hack GU is actually on sale on Switch right now, I believe, for like $16, which isn't too bad um digitally. So if you all don't have that, I recommend picking that up. It's a pretty good series. I recommend the originals first, but obviously you can't really find those, so next best thing is to play some GU. um but yeah, the vice president of CyberConnect 2 is essentially like, hey, we want to make this game, but they don't really listen to us. You need to tell
Right.
them that we want that you want this game as well. Um, so that's mainly what this is. But yeah, that's the first piece of news. I thought I should bring it up just because we're a dot hack podcast at this point. um, so also, yeah, I hate how it says X and all this stuff now. The next one I like to bring up is Mortal Kombat 1. The Combat Pass, the first one for the guest characters, has just it was leaked a while back through like Amazon, some other country, Amazon or something like that. And San Diego Comic Con is happening currently, so there's a bunch of news about a bunch of things. Um, but they released a trailer, and they basically showed just a bunch of characters just in a row. Certain ones like flying in. So they confirmed Homelander from The Boys and Peacemaker from Peacemaker and DC Suicide Squad. Because at this point, Peacemaker is a original character for James Gunn. Like
Yeah.
he exists, but he's so small, and he doesn't have many comics that like at this point I feel like he's his own character. um they also show off Omni-Man from Invincible, and then they also show some returning Mortal Kombat characters, Quan Chi, Ermac, Takeda, Li Mei, Tanya, and Baraka. And so they have, yeah, okay, yeah, it was an Amazon listing a few months back. Accidentally showed that. Um, yeah, here's like a little picture of just like a lot of them just
Do you know what's
sitting
funny
here.
about that though? Is like when you think of the characters they're bringing in that are not Mortal Kombat characters, Omni Man, Homelander, and Peacemaker, these are all like perfect
Yeah,
for this. It's like last time they brought in Rambo and they brought in the Terminator and they brought RoboCop.
yeah,
Those are perfect for this.
yeah,
And that's why you would never see Ninja Turtles in that. And plus, it'd be weird to see Donatello getting a fatality done on him, or Injustice. One
mm-hmm,
thing we were talking about before is I saw an interview with IGN's Ryan McCaffrey and Ed Boon, and they said, normally you do a Mortal Kombat game and then you do an Injustice game.
mm-hmm.
Why not now? He said there's things in the pipeline with it. It is going to happen, but they were things they were kind of waiting on. And so um, I'm wondering if they're writing a new story for it or they're working with DC. Uh, to be honest, I think Mortal Kombat 1 is great, but I really want another Injustice.
Yeah,
But these characters are awesome. Um, I can't wait to see the videos of Homelander and Peacemaker, just to see the videos of them there.
yeah,
I know playing it. I own the other Mortal Kombat. I own the Gold Edition, so I
mm-hmm,
have all the characters. Playing as Rambo is my favorite.
mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think it's so cool when they do this.
Yeah, for sure. And the cool thing so far is that they confirmed that J.K. Simmons is Omni Man in this game. So he is reprising his role from the Invincible cartoon on Amazon, which actually has a special about what's her face. I don't remember her name. Adam Eve. There's a special episode or whatever that is happening, and then that's currently out, and then season 2 starts in like November. I
Yeah,
I need to read more of that comic again. I really enjoy the story, but the animation and just like it's not like the character designs or anything. It's like literally the animation. Mostly, normally when people say animation, they don't know what they're saying. But for me, it is the animation itself is not good. It felt very um like someone was clicking and dragging on a JPEG and just moving it around the page. Like
Yeah,
there were a lot of those in that show, and just weird CG that just didn't fit. Um, but then when it looked good, it looked really good. But most of it looked not good and just felt weird. But no one really talks about that. The only person who I saw talk about that was Andy Cortez maybe once, and no one else. They're just blind to it. They're like, "Yeah, this is the best show ever." I'm like, "Is it though? It has a really good story, but this." I don't know. It's giving me a headache. If a show gives me a headache, that probably means that the animation there's something wrong with it.
I've only watched like 3 episodes. I've watched more of The Boys. Um, Almost done with The Boys.
Hmm.
Um, and I it's definitely not for children. Um,
Yeah.
but I just liked The Boys better because it I don't know. I think it's crazy because you think of like what would it be like if superheroes were real, and then you see the crazy stuff that they do, and you're like, yeah, that would really happen
Yeah.
right there, you know. Um, but the fact that Mortal Kombat is getting the permission to bring them there, but also I want to bring Ermic is like one.
Hmm.
He's not been in a game for a while, and
Yeah.
so that's pretty cool. And because they're going back to the one, and this is just the first pack. I mean, they're gonna have several packs.
Yeah.
Usually do like three. It'd be interesting to see who else they bring. You know,
Yeah, and this is the pack that comes with the Jean Claude Van Damme skin for Johnny
that
Cage.
is that's sick.
Yeah.
I still think that is the coolest thing I think I've heard from it.
Hmm.
All the video I've seen so far, it looks really, really good.
Yeah, it definitely does. I'm not really a Mortal Kombat fan. I never have been. It I don't like the way that those games play. Um, but I do like Injustice, but I like Injustice because of the source material.
Right.
They play exactly like that's my Mortal Kombat. It's like, oh yeah, you can or you play Mortal Kombat? No, I play Injustice. It's the same game, um, just with things a little bit different. Um, but yeah, I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna pick it up. I still need to play Street Fighter. Like I've barely played that game, and it's been 2 months since I bought it at like almost launch. So, um, next thing here, I don't have a picture of it. So because I don't want to get copyright struck. So we're just gonna go back to this, and we'll just talk about it. During San Diego Comic Con stuff, there was a trailer for Spider-Man 2. And Spider-Man 2, as we were talking about earlier, has a new controller that looks really nice. There's also cool thing that they're doing now is that instead of special edition consoles, which you can just straight up buy, it looks, um, they're doing special edition faceplates. So no longer do you have to like buy multiple consoles and stuff. You can just buy faceplates and just make your PlayStation customized to how you want it to look. And I think that's really good. And I think that we should have been doing this forever.
Yeah.
Um, so
Because- And I think that is you're exactly right because there's been so many consoles that they had that own special like Star Wars had that special Darth Vader remote, and so what's nice is now someone that's not going to be able to get to the store and get those might be able to get the remote. Now I will tell everybody next Friday is when that Spider-Man remote and the faceplates and stuff comes up to
mhm,
reserve on their website and at other places. That remote's going to sell super quick. Look at all the remotes they've had. Special edition. They
too
had
many.
the God of War, which I never got a hold of. Um, and then the Hogwarts one, the one my wife wanted, it's like $300 to $400 right now on eBay.
I've never even seen it in the wild either.
He found it on Facebook. Someone was like, "Oh my god, my Hogwarts controller got here, and it's a DualShock for the new Hogwarts game." Never knew it was coming out. It was an exclusive on their website. You had to get it on their website only.
Of course you did. Huh.
So, yeah, but I think it's cool they're doing it this way because I am not gonna go out and buy a brand new PS5, but it looks
Mhm.
super cool. But I would buy those faceplates,
Yeah.
and I definitely am gonna buy the controller.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Did you watch the trailer?
I did, and it had me super stoked.
Okay.
Um, and we can definitely talk about it.
Yeah.
I will tell you that um, this is why Sony has such good first party games is right here. The last trailer they showed with the gameplay was great, but this showed so much more stuff, including a certain character. They showed Venom.
Yeah.
That had me because that's what Venom's supposed to look like. They didn't show him as a playable character, but I would imagine you would be able to play him maybe.
I don't think so.
Oh my god, that would be so cool to whip around the streets as Venom. It'd only be good if he's like if they had the voice from Venom from the movies.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I'm
I love the first
curious. Yeah.
I love the first Venom movie only because of how funny he is.
I still haven't seen those movies. I own them on Blu-ray now, but I just haven't had a chance to watch them yet. I should at some point. Um,
Everyone's a little rough. But you know what gets me is like the Tom Hardy and Venom talking with each other.
yeah.
That comedy is hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen some clips and stuff, and it does look really good in that. But yeah, I'm curious how this game's gonna go. Because this trailer was very story heavy. Because like we know that there are three villains in this game, maybe two and a half. Because there's Lizard, and we've seen Lizard twice now. Uh, Craven's here along with all of his people. Um, what what is it? What's her name? Say no. Starts on the S. Is it Sable or something? Or
Yes, I think so.
yeah, I forget, but like her and like her like task force of like her mercenaries are kind of around. Um but then also I mean Venom as well. So like yeah, there's a bunch of different things here. Um
The only reason I said that him being a playable character because it looked like in the trailer he was fighting Craven's men.
I think that was Peter's just still symbioting out. Because there as you look through certain trailers, like he's getting more and more Venom like, but I don't think he's gonna become Venom. And there was even a scene in the trailer where it looked like the symbiote was doing something or like detaching itself or whatever, because Peter was on the top of Lizard, and Lizard looked like it was screaming, and then we now know from everything now because Venom got retconned. So any sort of loud like ringing or high pitched noise or whatever vibration, Venom the symbiote hates, and so it kind of looked like Lizard was screaming, which then caused the symbiote to kind of like fall off, and Peter trying to regain control. But yeah, you're gonna play as Miles and Peter. I hate the way Peter looks. He looks stupid still. I miss old Peter.
Yeah,
Bring back old Peter. I understand why he's not there, but at the same time, I don't care. Bring him back. He looks old and like better for that. Um, Miles is just looking better and better. There's certain people who don't like his new haircut. It's fine.
I don't
Um,
care. I think that's a dumb thing to complain about.
yeah,
They said, I think I think it's yeah. They said they well. I think if you're gonna complain about things, haircuts, not one to complain about. I
Yeah.
also did like the wings. They showed more of the wingsuit,
Mm,
especially with Peter. I think the
the
city looks.
gliding. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the city looks amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not getting a Batman game this year, so you know, I think Spider-Man just is going to be like a lot of people's game of the year. I really do.
Yeah, I think so.
I think you're going to see it in December, the video game awards. You're going to see
Yeah.
a lot of Spider-Man, just like last October when God of War came out.
But here's the thing though. I still haven't played it, but Final Fantasy 16 came out this year. You know what also came out this year? Tears of the Kingdom. So,
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one.
yeah, I feel like people are going to make Tears of the Kingdom win, even though it might not necessarily deserve it. I think that's what's going to happen. But a big thing that happened in this trailer is is Harry Osborn's there,
Yeah.
and he looks gross too. I hate him. He looks like a stupid dorky kid, and just looks gross. And MJ, she's back. Apparently, she's still the same face and everything. It's just that they changed her hair again, and her
Mm,
hair, because she doesn't have like the ponytail anymore, like not the investigative journalism. I'm running around, getting the story. Like she had like longer flowing hair, and it kind of looked like Mary Jane in Spider Verse, like the MJ that's in Miles's world. Like
okay.
it looked very much like her, like the eyes, the hair, a lot more orange hair, like it's brighter. I noticed. But yeah, Harry's back, and he wants to heal the world because he has some disease or something. It seems. Um, and at the end of the trailer, you hear Venom say, "Heal the world." So, which leads you to believe that it's him. Now they could still do something weird. Like they can make it him, which would be it's a nice twist, and I hope they don't just do a Arkham Knight situation where everyone's like, "Oh, that's Jason Todd," and then they're like, "No, it's not Jason Todd. It's not. We're
Mm,
saying that's not." And then the game came out, "Hey, it's Jason Todd." Um, I think that it'd be cool if it is Harry, because they've been kind of building stuff up for that. But I think would be even cooler. I think it'd be cooler if Norman Osborn was the Venom or something, but
yeah.
just do something different. Like I think it is cool. Yeah, like he's not stuck to being a goblin or whatever necessarily, but um, in there is no Eddie Brock. So in this
Yeah.
universe, as far as we can see, so um, yeah, I'm curious to see what's happening. I'm very excited. I'm I plan on, because my PlayStation is right here. I plan on streaming that game every moment I can. Because I have a better capture device now that can do HDR, and it can just makes things just pass through better. So why not just stream it? Yeah, and I think I can do higher frame rate and stuff too with that with that HD HDMI and everything. Um so yeah, be on the lookout for that eventually when if I do stream it.
Yeah.
I'd like to. Um the last thing that or I guess first, do you have anything else to say about Spider-Man?
No, no. I really got to finish Spider-Man 1. Um, I haven't done that yet. Or Miles. I haven't finished
Do you
either
have
one.
the PS5 version of Spider-Man 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember when
Yeah. You
I
bought the
bought
game
Miles.
separately, yeah.
Yeah, I bought Miles that had the upgraded version.
Yeah.
Um, and I just need to replay it again and just start from scratch. because I downloaded Batman the other day, Arkham Knight, and I'm like, dude, I ain't gonna go back and finish this
Well,
game.
you know why? Because Arkham Knight's a bad game. Spider Man's better.
I mean, in aspects, yes, but it's Batman, and I already know what happens.
Yeah.
So um, I bet the company that made that was like, oh man, wish we made another Batman game. But no, I think it's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna hit right at that holiday shopping time.
Hmm.
It's gonna be insane for this one.
Yeah.
Pull it. So
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to it a lot. So, um, final piece of news. Again, I don't want to show anything. So, audio listeners, you're lucking out today because I'm not showing anything. Um, there's a One Piece trailer for Netflix's One Piece that came out recently for San Diego Comic Con. Um, looks good. It looks decent. Like it doesn't look like the greatest thing ever, but it looks faithful. It's the character design and like special effects and the props and everything like looks fairly good. Um my only complaint maybe is that there's some weird acting for Luffy. Um
yeah, there is.
but at the same time Luffy's a weird kid and maybe we're just seeing stuff out of context cuz it's a trailer. So who knows, it could just be better on the actual full episodes themselves. I don't know how many episodes it's supposed to be. Um,
I don't know, but here's my concern: is we've done this before, where we've taken an anime and turned it into a live action. Full Metal Alchemist, Cowboy Bebop. Um, and I felt bad for Cowboy Bebop because that was John Choi that played um Choi, that played
Spike.
Spike. Dude, he trained so much, and then after the first couple episodes, they're like, "Yeah, we're not renewing the second season." You know?
Yeah. Did that? I'm trying to think for those. Same thing with Full Metal. I mean, Full Metal is a little bit of a different story because it's Japanese, and Japan always makes live action movies, whether they're bad or whatever. Most of them are bad. I will
Yeah.
just say that. And but they just don't care, and no one cares here until you see America trying to make a bad Japanese anime movie, and then all of a sudden it's huge news. But uh, I don't know with some of those like Cowboy Bebop. Um, was the creator involved with the No, he wasn't. Because I think
No.
he said like it wasn't his or whatever, and he was like, "I'm not watching it" or something like that.
Right.
Whereas the difference is with One Piece, Oda is like actually involved. He has requested multiple like reshoots of certain things to make it look better. The So this is in English for like the actual like language is English. But then the Japanese dub for it has the Japanese voice actors from the anime. At least Luffy. I think maybe the other ones as well, but I know for sure Luffy was confirmed because there was this whole like behind the scenes where the Luffy voice actor met the Luffy live action actor and they're like hugging and like he was trying to like speak Japanese to her and all that kind of stuff. Like he's a big fan too, it looked. So that's really cool that like you got fans playing the roles. Like that's
Right.
really good. Um
And,
but
and and I've never watched past episode 6 or 7. So
there's a
for
lot.
me, yeah, for me, it's gonna be pretty like new. As
Yeah.
where Cowboy Bebop, I knew. After the first episode of Cowboy Bebop, I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
It just felt weird. Um, and I did try to watch the Full Metal Alchemist, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Just for I thought the graphics were good. I thought the V
Yeah.
apologize for yawning. I thought the things looked really good, but I just thought it was a weird story, and then it brought it. I look what I did, right? I did that. You're
I
yawning now.
muted myself though. Haha.
I did not mute myself because it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But I would be after watching the trailer because I only watched the teaser trailer, and I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this. Alex is like, "No, no, a new trailer came out. Watch the new trailer." I was like, "You know what? I'll give it a try." I still have Netflix for right now.
Yeah, a lot of anime YouTubers and like anime community people have been retweeting that trailer and saying like, "Oh, I might actually give this a chance. Like this doesn't look bad." So I think that's pretty cool that like even them, whereas with like Cowboy Bebop and stuff, people are like, I don't know how this is gonna go." Um, with this, they're like, "Okay, yeah, this actually looks like it has potential,
Right.
and hopefully it does. Hopefully it does well." Um,
But I feel like
we'll see.
people are we're still on the writer's strike. It's that,
Yeah,
who knows how long it's gonna go.
Deadpool
Um,
3, it's delayed indefinitely now.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that are gonna get delayed. There's a lot of things that are gonna get put off. But in the same token, I think people should be paid for the job they're doing. Uh,
100%.
and so I support them. I support them. It's rough because that means new things that were supposed to be coming sooner are not. Now we may not feel it like now, right now, but a year from now, it's gonna hit pretty hard of all these things that are not coming out. Deadpool 3 is one of them. That's just a start.
Yeah, I've heard the back when, I don't know now. But I heard originally that people were thinking this could go as late as October for the
Yeah.
strikes. Um Now I'm not so sure because it seems like it could be even longer. Um
Last time this happened was Grand Theft
2008.
Auto. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, and the problem was this: they did a news story because they were like, "Hey, there's nothing to really watch that's new because of the strike. Play Grand Theft Auto. It's great acting. It's great story." So that's what I did. But I think a year from now, if it does go to October, you're going to start seeing shows delayed. You're going
Yeah.
to start seeing movies that were delayed. Um, you know, it it's rough, but in the same token, people should get paid what they're supposed to get paid. And Netflix is like a habitual of not paying people the proper things to
Well,
make their billions.
I don't know if you've noticed this, but certain shows and stuff are disappearing from like Max again and all that stuff, and even Disney, because they don't want to pay residuals for writers and actors and all that kind of stuff. Um, like I know a bunch of like cartoons and stuff are slowly disappearing. I think Over the Garden Wall is disappearing at the end of August, which is weird. I saw some weird theories about that where they're like they know that people are going to watch it between September and November since like it's a Halloween show. So it's going to gain traction, which means that people are going to watch it and then they'll have to pay residuals for those people.
Yep.
So they're just trying to do it. Um but like Steven Universe the movie, I want to say is disappearing from Max and that just doesn't make any sense. Um
No, I remember when HBO Max was coming out. This is a tangent. When it was coming out, it was like the best thing ever. You had Adult Swim, you had a Cartoon Network, you had DC, Ghibli Studios, all these great things, right? And as it's gone on, it's gotten worse. Like, I mean, granted, now I'm able to watch Shark Week, but um, God, I get so mad when these giant corporations are making billions of dollars that they don't want to pay someone like $50 for residuals
yeah.
on like this, or like because this everyone keeps thinking, oh, they're gonna get big checks. No, when these are played, especially streaming, they may get like a couple $100, maybe $1,000.
Yeah.
And when you think of the grand scheme of things like Max and Netflix, them giving someone like $5,000 to $10,000 is nothing to them.
Yeah.
And so that's what makes me so mad. I know Sean Gunn has spoke out about Netflix. Um, Alex and I know have talked about a couple shows. Squid Game was one of them.
Mhm.
No one wanted to purchase it, and so Netflix is like, "We'll do it, but we're gonna make all the money off of this first season, and then we'll renegotiate for second."
Yeah.
Um, and it was a big success. So I think at some point it definitely needs to come down to let's pay our writers, let's pay our actors that are doing this. And people were like, "Well, they already get paid too much now anyway."
It's like the 1% who
Yeah,
get paid too much. The rest of them, is what I've heard and stuff. You can hear like Gary Whitta and stuff talk about that. Um, but most people make less than 25,000 a year.
That's unacceptable, and especially if you're writing a show or writing a movie, wholly unacceptable.
Yeah.
Um, Especially when you got movies like Will Smith is like a stupid amount of money to be in a movie or a show, right?
Yeah.
There was one actor that's like 100 million just to do anything, and you can't pay. Yeah, no. So sorry, I went on a tangent there.
Yeah, no.
The show looks good. I will give it a try. Um, no promises after that.
Yeah. It's kind of where I'm at. Like I'll probably give it a try and see how it is. Um but yeah, I'm not holding my breath for it necessarily. Um that's pretty much it. That's all we really have today. Not too much is happening. But you know what is happening? You can go over to x.com, I guess.
That is so
I don't
awful.
know. I don't know. Like I've seen some stuff say x.com and I've seen like other things say Twitter. So I really don't know what it is at this point. Oh, did you see where he was trying to change the Twitter sign outside of their headquarters and with
No,
like a big like a crane or whatever, and like it was like grabbing stuff and letters and all that, removing it. But then they never got permits to like have all that and like do that those building stuff, and so the police came and stopped it.
that's too funny.
Yeah,
It's permits.
yeah. It's like, come on, dude. Like, what are you? What are you doing? You're crazy, stupid person. But yeah, find us on Threads. Find us on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Pandora. You can find us everywhere. Um, Appreciate it if you could follow us, subscribe, whatever you can do through any of this things there. If you're on Spotify, we post things that none of y'all react to. So what's wrong with you? Go ahead and there's what are those things called?
A poll.
Yeah, poll. Yeah, like there's like polls and stuff in there. Go ahead and react to those polls. I don't know if that's like a Spotify only thing or what. But go ahead and react to those and vote and see what happens. If you want to be on the show, um, contact us through Instagram. You know what? You can contact us through Twitter, as
Yeah,
long as it exists. But until Threads gets a DM service, contact us through Instagram or Facebook. Because
absolutely.
yeah, Twitter is being weird with like if we don't follow you, there's just weird stuff there. You can also find us at our email as well. I think that's listed on like our link tree or something. If it isn't, then it's listed somewhere. I don't want to say the email out loud, but if you're looking for it, and yeah, or we'll give it to you if you contact us through
Yeah,
other means. Um, but yeah, this has been the Get at Gaming Plus podcast, bi-weekly podcast where we just talk about anything we want to talk about. Um, like, subscribe, share, do all those things. Ben, do you have anything else to say to lovely people today?
just to get at it.
Get at it.